So it rained a lot yesterday, and I didn't have much to do, obviously. Couldn't go out to shoot, do anything really. And I sat up in my room, just staring out the window aimlessly, and started wondering about personal life, professional life, but also about my activism. If you're new here, my name is Francis, and I'm a photographer, videographer based out of sunny San Juan, Puerto Rico. And on the side, and I mean a quite big side, I do animal rights activism as well. So that's part of my content in case you're considering subscribing. So my mind started wandering to the dairy industry and how it all got started. If you know me by now, you should probably know that it's one of the industries that I hate the most, if I'm being honest, because it just represents all sort of cruelty to animals, which I'm not a fan of, obvious reasons. And so I couldn't find anything on the internet about how it got started, and I figured I would share a funny anecdote of how I jumped to that conclusion. Let's say that Farmer John, way back in the day, was watching his cattle just grazing out in the pasture, and all of a sudden he sees one of her little calves come up and start nibbling on her udder just to feed herself, which is a beautiful sight to see. That's mom and daughter right there. And next thing you know, it dawned on him that he thought to himself or herself, I think that I can sucker humanity for the rest of their lives into thinking that whatever comes out of that mom's udder is good enough for them to drink as well. And not just that, I bet I can get them to pay for it too. And so that's the only conclusion I could jump to because I can't think of anything else. I mean, everything starts with a commencement, an origin, an idea. And I bet that Farmer John or Jane, way back in the day, actually thought of that and told their neighbor, and their neighbor told their neighbors. And that's how the word spread about the beginnings, essentially, of the dairy industry. And although it seems pretty silly to try and wrap your head around that, I bet that's how it all got started. Now, if you're watching this video and you consume dairy, whether it's cow milk, its byproducts in cheeses or yogurts or anything like that that contains dairy, unfortunately, you're one of those people that got convinced and coerced into thinking that dairy is actually good for you. Dairy causes acne, inflammation, all sorts of health discord, and it's really the opposite of what they get you to believe. They get you to think that you need it because your favorite athletes are chowing down on it. Got milk? Does that ring a bell? And so I couldn't help but think about that yesterday. And it sounds funny to hear coming from me, of course, but if you take a step back and you actually think about the words that I'm basically explaining right now, I hope it actually incentivizes you to think twice about eating those aforementioned products because not only are they doing you no good whatsoever, but they are also the product of manipulation and marketing and advertising as well. So think about these words. I wanted to make this video because that's just how I go about my activism. My vegan activism is not like most people out there who try to make you feel bad about doing what you're doing. It's not to offend you either. That's not my style. My style is to actually get you to think about what you're putting in your body, how we're treating the earth, and how we're definitely treating the animals. That's the basis and focal point of my activism. I hope that you got something out of this video. And although I didn't script this, and this is definitely off the top of my head, it's something that comes easily to me because I'm very passionate about it, just like I am with my photography and videography. So having said that, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you got something out of it. And if you did, hit that like button. Definitely helps the channel. Subscribe if you want to see more about photography, videography, and of course, veganism. My name is Francis. I'm wishing you a lovely rest of the week. Take care of yourself.